All right, everybody, we are back, and we are welcoming back to the program once again more Ahuvia from RSA Fraud Detection Research Labs over in Israel, a little town, I guess, a little bit north of Tel Aviv. All right, and we're going to be talking about in this segment how Trojans hinder mitigation by researchers. Why don't you take off with the anti-VM story?
Right. So what happens is, in many security labs, Trojans are run on a virtual machine so that they cannot do any real damage to any computer or infect a network.
Right.
So a virtual machine is basically an isolated environment. So a lot of Trojans run a series of tests to see if they are in fact running in a virtual environment. And if they see that they are in a virtual environment, they will stay unpacked and will not install themselves.
Okay.
And that way researchers can't open up a Trojan and start picking at it and learning about it.
Okay, that's interesting. You know, and this whole notion of using VM Ware to do this is very interesting as well. A very stealth way of disappearing very quickly.
Right.
Yeah. How about blocking of research tools?
So I'm not going to get into exactly what research tools they block, but because that may not be very smart of me to do. But
I understand completely.
Programs, yeah, go ahead.
No, I understand completely.
Sure, but basically what happens is there's specific research tools that cyber criminals know about that researchers use on a regular basis, and if they detect that research tool is on the computer, they again will not run.
Yeah.
Or they will crash the program.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think you were going to go too deep there, but I was kind of wondering just where you were headed with that one. And the last one for this last segment here is this pseudo-random domain generation. Go ahead. Get into that one.
So what happens is that an infected machine needs to get new commands on a regular basis. It usually does that from a domain or IP address called an update point. That's where it gets its updates from. So what happens is security vendors like RSA shut down those update points once they trace them. So what happens with random domain generation is that the machine can look for a new domain if the first domain is not found or has been taken offline by a security vendor like us. The machine can look for the next logical domain, and it can do so for almost 1,000 times a day. And even if a new update point is found, it will only be relevant for 24 hours, at which time it will look for a new logical domain. And we've only seen this mechanism in a very specific Trojan. It's Zeus version 2.1, which is a privately held Trojan by a close circle, a cyber criminal gang, probably based out of East Europe or Russia. And what happens is that even if security vendors like RSA shut down the update point, the Trojan will be able to continue operating, whereas every other Trojan cannot do that. Every other Trojan, once you take off its update points, you shut down its drop points, he won't be able to call home. He won't be able to get new updates or commands, so it will stay on your computer but will be useless. So this kind of mechanism of pseudo-randomly generating a new domain, a new update point, bypasses that that service of shutting down update points.
Well, Maura Ahuvia, we thank you coming on to the program today and for the 3 segments today as well. This has been very informative, and give our best to everybody over there in the research lab. All right, take care now.
Thanks a lot.
Right, bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was